Good afternoon, everybody. It is Fantastic Friday. We all know what that means. That means we get Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time, and we get to be irreverent and rude because my subscribers don't have a problem with that. Mike has a lot of nice ones, and I have nice ones too, but we have plenty of irreverent ones here on my channel. So, so one of the topics I wanted to talk to you about today, Mike, was really homeless. So I'm seeing too many videos where they're like, there's going to be rampant homelessness because landlords are so stupid that we'll just keep on raising rents and we don't care if we have people living there. We just want to keep on raising rents. So help people understand what a market is.
Yeah. Yeah. So homelessness is a real issue, right? I live in California. We have some of the worst I think, I don't know if it's true.
It's the worst.
I think 6 out of 10 homeless people in the country live in California. It might be 4 in 10, but whatever. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So there's lots of issues around it, but to tackle your question about rents are going up so high that everybody becomes homeless, like rent causes that. I mean, people are extrapolating just wacky math. I mean, rent increases of 18-20% the last year, first and foremost, aren't normal. But, you know, lots of new YouTube channels, lots of channels like to scare you. Blood clicks, fear sells. So they're doing things like, hey, 20% rent increase for the next 3 or 4 years. Your rent's going to go up 7,000%. And, you know, nobody can afford it. Thus, everybody's going to live on the street. Well, I guess mathematically speaking, sure, if you want to be stupid and do something like that. I actually believe, because I totally agree. I think rent's out of control. I think I've been doing this 21 years. I've never seen rent increases like the last 12 months. This is what happens when the federal government prints $4 trillion or $5 trillion. It makes it rain like a strip club. And, you know, rent increases typically are more like 2-3% nationally speaking. Yeah. And we are going to go back there. And frankly, I think we're going to have a couple of years of no rent increases. How about that? I think there will be some cities where we actually have negative rent growth because there are plenty of cities where they're building more units. Rent is nothing more than supply and demand. And as I've said 100 times, and we'll say it 100 more, supply and demand are undefeated. If there's a landlord out there with an apartment building and he takes his rent up 20% this year and 20% next year and 20% the year after, he'll have a vacant building and he'll be a moron and he'll lose the building to the bank. That generally speaking is a bad outcome for landlords. So it won't happen. Yes, rent increases are bad. Yes, I've seen the articles of 31% and 37%. That's not cool, not normal. But again, like New York's been picked on a lot lately. But I've done the math, right? So let's just pretend you're in New York in 2019, rent's $2,000. 2020 comes, you are able to negotiate rent in the summer because everybody left New York and now you're paying $1,500.
That's right.
You got a 25% discount. Now everybody's coming back and you get a 50% rent bump. You're now at $2,250. Where in reality, you're really only up 10% over 2.5 years, which is pretty normal for New York. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of people pointing at the very bottom and the current rent, not realizing that if you just drew a straight line from 19 to 23, it's really not that bad. But yeah, it's a supply demand business. It's a people business. Rents are not going to go up so much where entire buildings go vacant. That makes no sense.
Nope, totally agree with you. And I think, you know, one of the things that I continue to hear in those kind of crisis videos and that approach is we've all seen, if you invested through the Great Recession, we've seen double-digit unemployment.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my market of Fresno, California, people don't realize this, but it's had one of the highest unemployment rates in all of California for every year that I've invested there. There were times, I think. So I've been there 21 years. I would bet you 16 of the 21 years, unemployment in Fresno County has been greater than 10%. I know what it's like. Yeah. In many years, over 15%. I know what it's like to invest there.
Wow. And so again, so I look at that and I just say, there's a lot of things out there, right? The government programs, those always seem to get funded, right? So Section 8, They don't get pinched for funding. They're like, we keep these, and then this is how many more new vouchers we're going to do based on qualifications. So I just look at it, and I also look at the fact that right now unemployment is 3.9%.
3.8, but
3.8. So even better, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And even if we go back to those crazy double digit, right? 10%, 12%, you still have 88% of people employed.
Yeah. And again, generally speaking, people don't like living on the street or living in their cars. There are exceptions.
Sure.
What people don't realize is people move in with family, people double, they triple up. It certainly is a sacrifice. Don't get me wrong. Standard of living goes down when you have roommates. I get it. Some people do it by choice, like, you know, a cheat code to wealth. Sometimes you have to do it. I get it. But let's be clear. Rent is not going to continue to go up 20% a year for the next several years. It is not going to happen. People that are extrapolating that are trying to scare you.
Trying to scare you or trying to get you to invest.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, geez, something. They're not being genuine. Their math equation works, but it's horrible economic assumptions.
Yeah.
I think there's a better chance that rents flat 23, 24, 25 than rents up 15%. If I had to take the bet, I would take 0 over rent going up 15%.
I agree.
It's just, we basically just got back to trend. That's all we did. If you've been in the game for a while and you go back to 18, 17, 18, 19, then you take out the crazy drop in 2021, we're back to trend. It just doesn't feel good when you race back to trend.
Right.
I get it.
Well, I think the other component that I'm also seeing as well is, to your point, I actually own double-digit percentages in my towns of 4-bedroom and larger units. So 4, 5s, and 6s.
Okay.
I own a double-digit percentage of those. That was always the strategy.
Yep.
The key is that the number of people that I've had, hey, my boyfriend, girlfriend, kid, boyfriend, girlfriend, kid, and they're like, we're trying to rent out a place. It's $1,600 a month for both of us, but then we both have all of our own utility bills, everything else. We're at $2,000 a month. I literally just had one that was like, nope, we're going to kind of take the second floor. They're going to kind of take the first floor in the unit. And instead of it being 2,000 all in, $4,000, they're going to be about 3,000 all in. So they're saving themselves $500, and they're like, this actually still gives us the ability to save. So I just look at that and I think you're dead on. I think that there's going to be, what happened during the Depression, right? Same exact thing.
Same exact thing. Yeah.
Same exact thing. Mom, dad in one room, the husband, the
grandparents,
kid, husband and wife. Yeah, exactly. Mom, dad, grandparents, then the kids in another room. That's what happened. So I'm not calling for a Great Depression. I'm not saying it's going to be a Great Depression, but I am saying that there are many steps before $2,000 2-bedroom apartment to homeless. There are many steps there, and they're not all bad steps.
No, supply and demand is undefeated, folks. We still have a roaring economy, 3.8% unemployment, 1.8 jobs for every unemployed person, wage inflation of north of 5%. It's not all rosy. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But that environment's not set up for mass homelessness.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So Mike, tell us where we can find you, my friend.
Go to One Rental at a Time in your YouTube search bar. You should see all kinds of stuff. I'm Not Shy, books, website, YouTube, Instagram, and I will go live Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific for 60 minutes, and then jump over to our private Facebook group just for my students, a little intimate affair at 9 o'clock Pacific.
It's a lot of fun. The live stream that Mike does on Saturdays is usually about 100 to 120 people in there just asking questions, which makes it a lot of fun because you can literally sit there for an hour. Even if you don't ask a question, you can literally sit there for an hour and learn.
Yeah, I always come because I've been doing this a long time, right? I used to come with like first 20 minutes of just filler. Now, usually I don't even get to my filler topics because we just jump in and go questions, which I love. Don't get me wrong. Keep the questions coming, but I am prepared just in case.
Yeah, when I tried to kick off with like 15, 20 minutes, even on the 3 hour, I got so far behind on questions. It's just like, all right, rapid session time. Like that's what we're going to do. Exactly. So as I always say, we try and create great content for you. Please subscribe. Please share the video. If you have somebody that's basically fear banging you with videos, one after the other. Take this video from people that actually know what they're talking about, actually own property, actually look at these numbers and see how it's affected housing specifically in their portfolio over a 20-year period. Take it and forward it. I guarantee it's something that they're going to appreciate. And if they want to stay fear mongering, quite frankly, just put them on your block list. So yeah, it's the only thing worth doing. So 11:30 a.m. Eastern time is my live stream, and Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube. Wait until you see what I have to post this afternoon. We got further into that 160-year-old home, and there were just more presents for us waiting.
Oh,
so, yeah,
fun.
Good time. So thanks so much, Mike. We'll see you in segment 2.